Hello, guys. An interesting topic I was discussing yesterday with one of my ex bosses who is in his 50s, 53 to be precise age. And retirement, we were discussing about retirement basically. So, we casually were chatting about what next now. For me, it is 15 years more. For him, it is maybe 7, 8 years more before we legally or by the social norms to get retired. Another point here is retirement is a very funny and very modern concept. Retirement until 1880s or 1890s or 1900, retirement was not at all a concept that was prevalent, except maybe a few exceptions wherein retirement benefits were given to soldiers with malified intentions or different intentions were different. Intention was not welfare of the soldiers, but to make sure that soldiers do not get into any naughty, do not start engaging with the king himself. For example, Roman Emperor Augustus gave retirement benefits in 13th century BC, before Christ, to his legionnaires who were fighting for him, and the age typically was 30, 40. So in the fighting, you need to be physically strong, and towards the age of 30, 35, they used to get retired or they were not of use in the battlefield. So these soldiers were, after they were not participating in the battlefield, and at the same time the Augustus, the Roman Emperor Augustus wanted them to keep quiet. So he started sharing some money, giving some money to them, and so that they will take care of themselves and not get involved in any activities which are anti-emperor, anti-Augustus. So this was a thought process, more of a political stunt. But towards the start of the towards 1880s, when the industrial revolution was happening across the globe, especially in the Europe, a lot of people were moving from farms to the factories, which were typically in the cities. So this migration of workforce was happening. At the same time, life expectancy towards the end of 1880s or 1890s or 1900 was very less, 35, 40. So the actual need of retirement benefits was never discussed, because people typically never reached to the stage wherein they had to think about not working and then staying alive. So this was a very modern concept, so to say, retirement. So as we developed medicines and advanced technologies, transportation, career opportunities, growth opportunities, prosperity, then obviously with the increase in the age, the thought process came into minds of people that if, let us say, I'm working towards the in my 60s, and if my physical strength is not there, if my mental strength is not there, then how should I survive? How will I take care of my family? This is where the retirement discussion started. So in 1881, German Chancellor van der Bismarck, actually he started this discussion. The objective basically was, see, during this period of 1881, a lot of unemployment was there in Germany, whereas the working population, a large percentage of working population was towards the 60s and 70s. So what Bismarck did very smartly is he suggested hashtag that let us get the workforce above 70 out of the industry, out of the workforce. The employees, the people who are working in the industry should get out of the industry when they are above 70, so that the new workforce, the young workforce will take their place, and then they will also get opportunity to earn livelihood. At the same time, the people who are above 70 will also be taken care by the government. So this is how Germany started giving pension to people above 70s. This was 1889. And on the same lines, the Ohio Railroad Corporation in America, towards I think 1885, started the same scheme. So the employees who were working on the railroads, laying and maintaining the railroads, were given pension schemes. Then American Express Company also started towards I think 1890s, providing the benefits to the employees in the form of pension schemes. For example, the idea here was once the employee gets retired physically physically from the organization, he should be able to get some livelihood, so that he's not left in lurch, so to say. So this is how the pension started. Now, obviously, in the 1910, 1920, 1930, 1940, in the next 4-5 decades, we have seen 2 world wars, 2 major catastrophic events like plague and etc. So the life expectancy with the modern advent of medicines and transportation and technologies also increased from 35, 40 to 70. So towards the start of the 19th century, 20th century, that is 1900, the life expectancy was only 35 to 40. So there was no need of retirement benefits, so to say, because people were not reaching to the age wherein they had to think about what next now. because they were not reaching the stage of inactivity mentally and physically. So towards the 1960s and 1970s, the life expectancy was 70 years, which necessarily means that people started thinking about how do I take care of my family, myself, and my lifestyle, so to say, once I stop working. Now, this is when governments also started, American government and other governments also started giving benefits to the employees, and making sure that employees, once they reach 60 years of age, they should get out of the workforce, and the new people will replace them. Whereas the people who are getting up the workforce will be paid in certain amount in terms of pension. So, and the pensions were taken care by the mutual contribution. The employee also used to defer his salary to a portion of salary towards the end of the career, and the government also used to contribute equal amount. So this is how the pension started. Then obviously 401k came in, I think, in 1970s, and this is how the corporates also started giving pensions to retiring employees. So retirement became a standard, so to say. So retirement as a concept is a very new modern concept. I think it is not more than, if you ask me frankly, it is not more than 100 or 120 years old. So this is where we are. Pension basic, even as an individual, for example, if I'm not in public, I'm not in government, I'm not a government employee. Obviously, I need to plan my future, because the life expectancy is 70, and because especially after Corona, I'm certainly not moved to work after maybe 60. The kind of work that I'm doing currently, or the kind of work that you are doing currently, the amount of stress, amount of highs and lows, and a lot of things are happening, physical and mental stress. So this is how the new generation is thinking about. Especially why I'm talking about this topic here is retirement. First of all, retirement is a very modern concept, and I was discussing with my ex-bosses, who is national manager, and he's 52, 53. So yesterday I was discussing with him, and he said we were discussing casually about retirement. So what next? So he said, I'm not planning for retirement, especially after Corona. A lot of people have started thinking about passions and dreams. So whatever they have done in the last 25, 30 years, going with the flow, so to say, to earn money and to be successful, is kill all the dreams and passions and work on what gives me the money. So he said, at present, I'm thinking about doing something that I always wanted to do. If given a chance, whatever I wanted to do when I was 25, I would do it now. So instead of getting retired at 53, he will be planning for next 2 years and get out of the industry, and will start working. Will use his financial foundation that he has already built, will use his maturity, industry connects, experience, to create something, to give something back to the society, back to the family, and back to the industry, by working on certain aspects which he always wanted to do, and which were sidelined because of all this corporate pressure in the last 25-30 years. So this is what the change is happening. Yeah, I very clearly remember my father was getting retired, and he said, what next now after 58? What should I do with my day? So after Corona, there are a lot of changes happening, and people are already started thinking about not getting retired in the 58 age or 60 age, but they are now already thinking about it getting retired at 50, 51, 52, and not stop working, but to start something on their own, which is in line with their dreams and passions and hobbies. At the same time, it will create a value for others, and it will also give them certain financial benefits, not to the extent of what they're getting in the corporate industry, but it will be sufficient enough, since they have already built a financial platform based on which they can try all these new adventures, so to say. So this is exactly what I've tried in 2016. It was too early for me, but I sincerely am working towards get FIRE, financially independent and retire early. So this is how the FIRE, basically the belly, so to say, financially independent, retire early, is the thought process that even my seniors are also following, wherein they are not looking at 58 or 60 to get retired, but they are looking at 53 or 52 to get out of the rut, out of the corporate rat race, and get work for next 10 years on something which they believed in, which they always wanted to do, and which now they are capable of doing it. Thank you very much.